Welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. So welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs. We're on our second episode. Congratulations, everybody. We are now picking number 1 against number 3.
Ooh.
And now the difference between this taste-off and the previous episode is that the previous episode was all Wisconsin bourbons. What we did on the second episode now is we picked any bourbon under 100 proof. So we had so many options. We picked 8 of our options. We randomly whittled it down to 2. And we just now drew for what is going to go against what. And what we picked was that number 1 was going to go against number 3, which I'm glad I reiterated that because I had him wrong. So what we should have is 1 against 3 and 2 against 4. Is that correct, fellas?
That's what I have.
All right. So now that we have it down, welcome. We are gonna whittle this down to our favorite bourbon of the year, and we're gonna do it by every episode. Take 4 different bourbons, narrow it down to the winner, and at the end of the month, we'll have 4 winners. We're gonna taste those monthly winners off against each other and have, a monthly winner. So the weekly winners will face off and make a monthly winner. So this is our second episode. We're going to find out under 100 proof which ones we like the best.
Under 100 proof.
Under 100.
So will we find any bold, kick you in the face bourbon at under 100 proof?
I don't know. I don't know what ones you guys brought. We had 8 options. I provided 4. You guys provided 4. I know that the options I had were probably anywhere between 90 and 100. I don't think I had any under 90 myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be that same, 90 to 100. And I will say of the 2 that I brought, we don't know if mine got used. They're bourbons that I regularly drink.
Oh.
They're bourbons that I know I like. They're bourbons that I introduce them to people if they want to become bourbon people and they want to start. They're bourbons that I know I like. I buy them regularly. If they're on sale, I bought a case. So I can tell you right now, I've had number 1 and I like it, and it has a lot of flavor for a bourbon that's in under 100.
You've tasted it already.
I smelled it and tasted one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You guys were yakking away there. I need to go.
We were yakking away.
I like number 1.
Do you think it's a good idea to introduce people to bourbon with a lower proof?
I think in general,
Yeah.
right, that'd be the way to do it. I mean, especially if they're not, if they're used to just drinking a mixed drink, if they're drinking alcohol for the first time. Because so many people, when they're drinking bourbon or even alcohol, are trying to get away from the alcohol flavor, right? Even in like these Trulies or whatever, everybody wants something that doesn't taste like alcohol.
Right.
So if you can get something that's a little more approachable, I'll even tell people in the beginning to put a little bit of water in it. Like if you're going to do some coffee, you might do like your creamer, like you said you did, Todd. Maybe an ice cube or something like that.
Yeah.
I like number 1. Do you guys like number 1?
I do.
I think it's delicious.
I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
I don't. Sorry.
No, I hope it's one of the ones I brought. Because I would love to be affirmed by some
Sure.
other people that like these are some of your favorites that you drink and stuff like that. So I hope number 1 is one of the ones I brought.
To be honest, the 4 that I introduced to the option of being part of this tasting, I've had a couple of them. There's a couple I have not had before.
Okay.
But the ones that I did had, I again, like you, am very impressed with them. My good friend, Command Sergeant Major retired Kim Michalowski, which is your uncle.
Yeah.
We sat in the garage one time and we almost polished off one of the bottles that I offered in this, and so I don't know if it's part of this, but if it is, it's a delicious option.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, for the bottles that I brought, it's bottles that I haven't had in over a year.
Okay.
So I actually kind of took a different approach of, hey, something that I haven't had in so long. So I actually have no clue what you brought, and I have no clue what I brought, how it tastes.
Yeah.
So,
perfectly the beauty of all this.
Right.
Because we all have different ideas, but brought different idea expressions to this plate.
Right.
So we're going to see how these things stack up against each other head to head blindly. Perfect.
I think so.
Right.
I'm super excited about this whole
Yeah.
process. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I definitely respect Josh and you, Dan, for your knowledge of bourbons. I know we have a pretty good selection of what our inventory is. And, you know, the reason I invited each one of you, you know, Josh came over one day and we were having a cigar out in the backyard and he's like, oh, you've never had this, you know, Evan Williams Signature Select, you know? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, I got like a half a bottle in my car. You can have it. And I'm like, what? Like, who does that?
It's in my glove box.
Yeah, this guy does that. Like, that's the kind of friend he is, you know? He just kind of offers you things where
I
it's
just had
like...
a pull off of it on the way
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, normally you have to actually go to like the distillery to get this stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And he's like, oh, you can have the rest of it. It's delicious. It's awesome. You'll love it.
And I think that's my favorite thing about bourbon is just sharing. Like I get more excitement out of sharing with someone else than I even get out drinking myself. So I know that we're all the same way here.
I agree. In fact, Dan, you allowed me to buy my first bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Is that your first bottle?
It was my first bottle.
That's awesome.
You said you had a couple extra, and you said I'll sell it to you for cost, and I'm like, I was so thankful and grateful.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah.
I've been able to get it like a case at a time, and even like in my Christmas exchanges, people that aren't big, everybody knows that name, and people will, that'll be our Secret Santa gift, or I'll put one of those in there. People are like, oh, I got Buffalo Trace. And to me, it's just okay. Actually, I don't remember the last time I had Buffalo Trace. I don't remember the last time I had just regular Buffalo Trace.
Well, it's a $25 bottle, like, you
Yeah.
know, and it's
I
hard
don't
to
remember the last
find.
time I had it.
It's
You know?
crazy.
So it's wild. A little bit different for me. Buffalo Trace is my daily drinker. And I love it. So super interesting to hear you say that, oh, you don't buy it that often. For me, I'm like, oh, look, I like am an advocate for Buffalo Trace. So
I'm not saying I don't like it at all. I'm just
Right.
saying it's just not my, maybe because I have enough of it at home.
yeah, that's fair.
But there's so many other things that I think are more, me and Todd talked earlier, that Four Roses single barrel.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Mm.
That all the time I'm drinking that stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I buy that a lot. And
Four Roses has good stuff, though.
They really do. They do. This is such a great, like, aftertaste, too. You know, the finish on it is, it sticks with you, and it's not overpowering. It just gives you this good mouthfeel where it's like, it's there, and you remember it, and you just appreciate it. At least I do. I don't know. I'm just super excited to see what else goes against it and how well that ends up.
Wow, I just had 2.
You mean 3?
Yes. The second one.
I feel like we're saying who's on first, what's on
Right,
second.
yeah,
The second one.
And you viewers will get to see what kind of bottles are against what. We have no idea. This is a double blind for us, which means we have no idea what the bottle is or which one it's in. You can have a single blind where we will have single blinds, because when our weekly winners go against each other and become going for the month, so that, you know, last episode's winner will go against this one and the next 2, and we'll know what bottles those are because we've obviously tried them and we know which one won, but we won't know which order they're in, and that's called a single blind. Any thoughts on bottle 3?
I like number 3 a lot too.
Hmm.
I just went back to the. I don't know that I'm pick a winner on these 2.
How would you describe number 3's flavor?
Oh, jeepers.
That's a good question. I'm picking up some fruity, like apricot almost flavor.
You're starting to sound like a bourbon snob. Yes, it's a Sunday morning creme brulee. I'm getting on my nose.
I'm not even looking at my little taste
Little
wheel
wheel.
here. I'm trying to picture what I'm actually getting.
I think each subsequent time I taste 3, it gets better.
I think you're right. I just had it again.
This is awesome, man. This is gonna be such a close competition. I
Are
think.
you struggling between the 2 of them, Jay?
I am. I definitely am.
I'm gonna get drunk deciding which is
Yeah.
better.
I mean, I guess I have to start looking at the legs of them and everything, because they're really, and they're not necessarily similar, they've got their own personal profile.
One definitely carries itself a little longer. Like it might proof a little higher. It's got more back end to it, a stronger finish.
Mm-hmm.
But three, we'll say three, definitely is a bottle you could drink.
Yeah.
You could sit there out in the patio all night with that.
Mm.
Yeah, I can see this with an ice cube. I can see it neat. I can,
Yeah.
you know.
That'd be Todd stumbling in about 1 a.m. out the back patio door.
Like,
That's an early night.
Right. Mosquito bites everywhere.
Yeah, I'd probably wake myself up again.
Right.
So I have it picked. So
Oh, okay.
but I'm gonna hold and let me know.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
So you already know you have a winner. I'm still kind of.
Oh yeah, let's take some time. Pause. Add a little water.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
They're definitely different
They are
from each other. Yeah.
from each other.
Wow.
But they hold their own.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm contradicting myself from our first tasting tonight, where I picked the one that had more to it, and I think one has more to it, but three has a lot, but doesn't smack me in the face at all. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right, okay, I got a winner.
I think I do too. Josh, you haven't started first yet, have you?
I have not. Well, I did last time. I guess I was the tiebreaker. So I'll start first. I really do like the two. It's tough for me to describe number three. I like what that taste is, but what that taste is, I'm okay with. But I really like the smoothness. I don't know if I wouldn't go as far as saying that one is sweet, but I like the kind of what Dan said. So my favorite is number one.
Okay. I'm gonna allow you to be a tiebreaker this time.
Okay, perfect.
I will not also, because to be a tiebreaker I have to disagree. So both of these are delicious bourbons. Like this is a very difficult decision. Like you are not gonna go wrong if you try either one of these or buy either one of these. Like I'm hoping I own both of these, so that I know that they're delicious. But again, we talked about how it could be both of yours, it could be both of yours, it could be one of each, who knows. But I like three better. It's sweet, I think. True, I think number one probably has a longer finish on your palate.
Mm-hmm.
That's not always like the thing I'm searching for though. I like to get that taste and that sweetness and just, it's a great mouthfeel, I feel. So. And I love using the word feel that many times in a row.
It feels good.
It feels good.
I agree with everything you guys said. All of what Josh said is exactly how I was feeling it in my head, but I picked three.
Okay.
And only because I could see myself drinking it all night long.
Patio pounder.
Yeah. One seemed a little more complex and beautiful. I could drink that all night too. But three had complexity and the ability that I could really stay with it all night. So very close though.
They were
very close.
I love these options, man.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
So three's the winner?
Three's the
Three
winner.
is the winner. Yeah. Well.
All right, on to number two.
Yeah, we're across the board now. So the playoff bracket has now decided, let's find out the winner of these two bourbons. So,
One interesting thing, I think this time,
you seen any color difference?
yeah, I'd say that this is the darkest of the four. I could be a little bit wrong, but it's just a tint darker.
I agree.
Or maybe it's just the light.
It could be the light, but I kind of agree though. It's very similar, but I guess if you were to say which one, it would be number two. Ooh. I'm getting more than any other tasting I've had yet. I'm getting more oak out of this than I have as of yet.
This is really punching my tongue. I'm getting.
Oh, you tasted it now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get on the same page. I'm still going off the nose. The nose is oak.
Yeah, I also tasted it, and it's different than any of the bourbons we've tasted today.
Yeah, it's punching my tongue.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm almost thinking a little bit like you've had Scottish whiskey before, right?
Sure.
Scotch.
Sure.
I'm getting a little bit of a peat, almost like a peat flavor out of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Can you?
Really, really light,
Yeah, I suppose.
but it definitely tastes different.
I'm not getting that at all.
You guys are much more refined than I am.
No, or you just are more refined and we're just off the cuff.
I was thinking barky, like almost less like peat, but more bark.
Okay.
And I don't even know if bark's the thing. I couldn't tell you last time I went and had a piece of bark.
No, but I have had a bourbon before where it's like it felt like I just licked a tree. It was so wood.
Was it a good tree?
I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, it will be in the lineup, I think. But
Perfect.
yeah, I can't wait for you guys to try it. We're all gonna lick a tree together.
We're gonna have an episode where we're out in the forest and we're gonna be like, hey, what's better, the tree or the bourbon?
As long as it's not a pine. What are you thinking?
I've moved on. I'm ahead of you.
Wow, we got to get on the same page here. You're just getting the sense, you're getting the taste of it, you're done with the taste profile of it. Which one did we say was darker?
3.
Okay.
Not 3. By 3 we mean 2.
Okay, the one we just had.
The one we just had.
Which would make sense if it's like more of a tree. Boy, that seems very similar to that one. Why? Why is that? I see you're drinking like something to clean your palate too, huh?
Because they're close.
They're very close.
I want to make sure I'm getting the right sip.
Yeah, that's... Man, I hope we brought different bourbons.
It might be the same.
Now,
I think we're good.
Truth be told, my wife picked the bourbons. She did it randomly. She picked numbers and picked bourbons. But there's no way she would put 2 of the same bourbons in a tasting.
Right.
So...
I don't think they're the same. They're similar, but
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow, this is going to be a tough decision then.
It's unfortunate that a really good bourbon could get kicked out in week 1.
Well, not necessarily, because I think we discussed it. I think we are leaving the door open because it's a cutthroat type system. You know, like loser goes home, winner advances. There are situations like this exactly where it's almost a coin flip, like which one advances. And so when things are close, we are gonna most likely allow things that if we enjoy it to come back into the fold.
Decision in this one too.
Okay.
Hey, it's a good thing there's 3 of us.
Have we had the
first one.
Yeah, first one.
the first one we picked unanimously? Okay.
I think actually in our first episode, in the preliminary round, both of them were unanimous.
Right.
But then when we went to the final round, we required a tiebreaker.
Yeah. You guys can go. I'll finish it up if it is split at all. Otherwise, we'll just go.
I picked 4.
Let's hear more. Please divulge.
Nope, you get no more.
4.
I picked, and that's the rule.
I like them both. I'd be happy drinking either one. But 4 just had a little more flavor on my tongue at the back end. I kept tasting it.
Okay.
And I went back and forth, and every time 4 had more to it than 2, where it kind of overlapped it. So it gave it that little bit stronger flavor, but no harshness to it.
Sure.
So, kind of as I said before, I enjoy a stronger flavor as long as it doesn't overpower me. So I chose 4.
Perfect.
Awesome. So, no tiebreaker required here.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
also chose 4. I think number 2 I think between the two, really a personal preference on flavor. I think 2 is just very unique, and someone could come in like I could see someone coming in that really likes that type of flavor. I really like this is the best bourbon, and it's just it's a different flavor. So, but I really like 4, and I'm super excited to see. I've been saying that a lot of these. I think we should have like a count of how many times I say super excited.
We should track button.
We should track button 5.
We'll let you track back. 'Cause it doesn't bother me at all.
It makes a little ding sound. Ding.
Right?
Something else up.
I think
Yeah, we need our own little like bell on the side here.
4 is it for me.
Okay. Well, you guys obviously made it a sweet decision, but I was actually going for the other one. So I'm really curious now what the bottle is and just see if the bottle has more hype than the other one or, what type of dynamic it is. I agree, they both were delicious. What got me, though, is when I was tasting the one that you guys both picked, like, initially, it's fantastic. And then as I'm drinking more and more and more, the finish on it started to be a little, like, annoying to me for some reason. I don't know what that annoyance was, but it was like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, yeah, I know you're there. Get out of here.
Get off my way. And that's a really good point. I focus more on how it started, less of how it finished.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Dan had both sides.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I do like a finish.
Yeah, no, that's very important.
Yes.
It matters to you what you go to bed with after you've had a bourbon. It's like, is it gonna stay there? So, but that is the winner. So we are gonna bring out the bottles and actually see for
we
ourselves.
have to do 1 versus 4.
Oh, jeez.
No, we gotta do 3, right?
Or 3 versus 4. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Come on, Todd. Get your shit together.
3 versus 4.
Well, you can see who the one guy is who's not driving anywhere. He's finishing all his. Go.
Yeah, truth be told, this is at my place. I eventually hope to finish my basement and actually have like a bar type setting where it's a little better. Although I am a cigar smoker, these two are cigar smokers. I've got a little gazebo. When the weather right now it's like 27 degrees outside, so we're not going outside to taste some bourbons. But when the weather gets a little better, we plan on being outside. Maybe not have cigars because we do want to make this as realistic and organic as possible and truly taste the bourbon instead of having some cigar smoke in our mouth. But eventually we'll be outside also recording and getting some good bird sounds in the background.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So now we're on 3 and 4.
I like 3.
No subliminal messaging.
No, I like 3.
I feel like this is in poker, like table talking. I have pocket aces. Fold.
How often do you play poker?
In my 20s, I used to go out to Vegas 4 or 5 times a year.
But that's not Texas Hold'em, is it?
No, I was playing Hold'em.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, loved playing Hold'em. And then I switched over to craps because my friends didn't want to play poker. So I switched over to craps to be able to, more socialization. I think very, very much similar to, bourbon. I was like, hey, social. I enjoyed sharing. I was like, poker was fun, but I actually enjoy hanging out with my friends more than I did playing poker. So.
And what would you say you're better at?
Craps or poker? I was pretty good at poker for a while, but I mean, I never won a ton. We're talking $1,000 max or something. So.
Yeah, he's not asking for the IRS to come in.
Right. This is in my 20s. I'm almost 40.
This is in my 20s. It's beyond reproach.
Right. Well, I've picked a winner.
Nice. I have 2.
Yeah, me too.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So do I start? Yeah, because my voice was not heard the last time because you guys already made it unanimous. Yeah. So I'll start out and hope I'm not the only one again. But I am picking number 3. I'm going to pick number 3. It was our, the first match off or taste off against the number 1, and it ended up winning. It came across the board and is now against one that I didn't pick, but it is against, another winner of that side bracket. So it still stands on its own. I do though pick number 3.
picked number 3 too.
Hey, number 3, 4. Like, number 3 as well.
Also, okay, I was like, wait, is it 4?
Number 3, I was gonna say.
It's
number
unanimous then.
Number 3, number 3, number 3, 3. Yeah. So,
Yeah, well, that's impressive.
I tasted number 3 initially, first time, and I was like, love this.
Yeah.
So now I'm really excited to see what we do.
I'm super excited to see what this is. So let's do our little cheer that we have a winner.
Unanimous. This
Unanimous.
is our first unanimous winner.
Yeah.
So how did you guys like the Bulleit 10?
So we went against 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Well, it obviously won.
Well, one. No, it didn't win, did it? Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah. Yay! Nice.
So you brought it.
Yeah.
And it won. And it went against some really good options. I mean,
Yeah.
it went against Longbranch, which I love.
Yeah.
Jefferson's Ocean or Jefferson's Reserve. That is just. I love what they do with their Jefferson's Ocean, and their Reserve. Like, I think they make a fantastic product. And your Bulleit 10 came out
$40. $40.
40 bone winner.
You never had it before?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
mine has like this much left. Which, if you're listening to this, it's like 2 inches.
Right. I don't usually get that low before I get another bottle.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I have this at home, and I also have the single barrel.
There's a lot of
I do
these
too.
things. Super heavy, super dark. Right.
And I don't remember which one I liked better when I compared the two. So I'm really curious to go home and try that single barrel.
Typically, the single barrels are really high proof.
Right.
Yeah.
They're in the 120s, really dark.
Right.
They got a lot of bite to them.
Right.
A lot of bite to
And what is the proof on this then?
I looked and it was under.
Because for a 10-year, I mean, that's sitting a long time in a barrel, which they must have proofed down. Because typically entry proof
was it
is
say 91.2 or something?
small batch, age 10 years.
I think it was on the far left over here.
Yeah, 45.6, so it's 91.2. Yeah. Which is kind of on the lower end. I mean, it's not like a Basil Hayden 10-year where they proof it down to 80.
I have this at home, but I've never opened it.
Do you know who's behind that?
Heaven's Door. Oh, it's Heaven's Door. Not Heaven. No, who's this?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, is this his? Oh, knocking on Heaven's Door. Okay.
I actually thought it was Heaven Hill. So let me see that.
No, it's Heaven's
Heaven's
Door,
Door.
which is a Dylan product.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a celebrity product.
So I've not had that before.
Which
Yeah,
I also have a 10-year of that, which might make its way into a tasting.
So I'm really surprised that Jefferson's made it as far. So I've not had.
You typically don't like Jefferson's, or
So I love Jefferson's. I've been to the distillery. I have like 15 miles in the house, right? But generally the ocean.
sure.
So it's really kind of it's good to dive into the reserve. And I think I was introduced to the ocean first, and it was such a good product that I just kept buying ocean.
Sure.
So it's pretty cool to see the
Jinx.
reserve.
Yeah. Good, all good products. I would buy this all day.
Right?
Yeah.
All those, yeah.
I don't think there was one that we said that was bad. I
No.
think we said they were all good, but one just stood out.
That was crazy that he was unanimous too.
Yeah.
It was crazy that it was unanimous, and you're right. We did not pick a loser. We picked a better. And it goes without saying, I mean, each one of these offerings, you are not going to be disappointed if you purchase one of these and have it in your household. You're going to enjoy it. And I think you can show it off to friends, like each one of them. I mean, obviously, probably the one that was picked the least, and we don't do that. We only pick what advances. We don't pick what isn't advanced. But probably the Heaven Hill was probably the least advanced. But you have a story behind that. You have that's a Bob Dylan, bourbon, where it's like if you were a big fan of Bob Dylan, you could buy this and not be disappointed.
Sure.
Yeah, there are plenty of celebrity bourbons that are. Yeah.
I agree.
And
I tend to stay away from them myself.
And I would say this competed pretty well.
I agree. I think it held its own. I mean, these are all fantastic bourbons, and we had a tough time deciding. I think. I mean, it did end up becoming unanimous, but when we were tasting it, side by side, we were like, wow, both these are very good.
Yeah, it just goes to show you gotta spend a ton of money to have a really quality pour.
I agree. Thank you for joining us. We enjoy you guys coming and joining us for this little tasting. We're certainly enjoying it because we get to taste it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to provide this in your own little living room and like join us through this experience. Look at what we're tasting, taste it while we do, and give us your own thoughts. We'd love to have you do that. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.
I really think we should have Todd dancing as like the intro.
Yeah, coming across the screen.
I was brainstorming like different ideas with my wife. I was like, well, maybe I should wear sunglasses home, just so I can have something that's unique to me, And I was thinking, you know what I should do? Like Bert Kreischer, every episode, just take off my shirt. And she goes, immediately. She's like, I'm like, okay, good thing we cleared that up.